Konnichiwa! Поехали. Los geht's. Watashi no Monogatari. This is my Japan story. It's a typical one you already heard a couple of times. Doing a vacation in Japan, falling in love with the country, and then wanting to move there. Weep! The vacation was in May. We did all the famous attractions. Shibuya Sky, Team-Labs planets, shrines and temples, Daikoku car meetup. I did a run in every city, driving go-karts through Shibuya, to which I forgot the translation of my driver's license and had to run to get it in time. Bamboo forest, mountain apes, Fushimi Inari, Osaka castle and observatory. Did I put on this t-shirt because this video is about Japan? Yes. Running Man aka Number, tasting takoyaki, which is squid. I also tasted natto and eel, didn't like any of those three. But I'm also a picky eater, bowing to deers in Nara, Fuji Station and hoped to see Mount Fuji, but it was always cloudy. And spontaneously we discovered Universal Studios is also in Osaka. We made friends who showed us how to drive on the Tokyo highway. And I felt in big time love with the vending machines. Don't ask me why, but I am fascinated by them. All of that while not believing in sleep and destroying our foot and legs. Also, we got sick on one of the last days because we didn't know how to work the AC. In the night it got pretty cold and every one of us was in a sleepy state and pretty exhausted. Instead of someone getting up and be like, guys, it's cold in here, maybe you should take a moment, turn on the light and figure it out. Crazy idea, dachte Bayon.
Ja.
When I was back in Germany, I felt so wrong here. I wanted so badly to go back. I craved to be in Japan. So I did all the necessary precautions and went back there in August. Okay, that took an anticlimactic turn. It looks like I just went back to Japan and that's it, but it was everything else but that. There were lots of questions. Well, what about my family? Will my boss allow it? How will I do it financially? Where will I live? What time of the year will I go back? It's a long and expensive journey going to Japan, so it was quite a happening for me. Currently in the video it looks like I just went back and that's it, but it was not like that. But I didn't plan to make this part any longer. I was in Tokyo, Sapporo, Osaka, Kyoto and Okinawa. By the way, I documented my story with daily reels on Instagram. Marketing. My first month I spent in Tokyo. There is this website, homestay.com. It's like Airbnb. You live with someone at home and can save some money. Make sure to book early to get one of the good places. Check out the description because some places just offer a public room to sleep and not a single room for yourself. You can have cool stays, for instance where you exchange a lot with the host, or doing a handstand competition with them. Like, you know, the second most typical thing you do when you meet a new person. Or bad stays where the AC doesn't work or the blanket or pillow is not working for you. I had a case like that. I went out to Don Quixote and bought another blanket and pillow. Konnichiwa gozaimasu. I worked remotely during this time. I am so thankful that I was working at a company which allowed that.
Excuse me, sir. Is there anything I can help?
I want to get to this line.
Working from Japan is something I had to figure out first. You think you can work from cafes, but not all of them have power outlets. Konsentu ga arimasu ka? The Wi-Fi sessions are limited, for instance, to 60 minutes 3 times a day. And after each session you have to wait a couple of minutes before the Wi-Fi works again for you. And they don't have the best internet connection. I found cool co-working spaces in Shinjuku and Kyoto. You have to pay to work there, but in Japanese convenience, it's worth the money and everything works. They have monitors you can use, awesome keyboards, the water was free. The water was free. Oh my god, I wrote so much script. Who's gonna read all of this? My first stay was in Nerima. It was incredibly humid. Even just sitting still for 5 minutes would leave you drenched in sweat. Without an AC, good luck. In Tokyo, I hung out with 3 Japanese natives. We connected through the apps Tandem and Hello Talk. As a Japan expert in the making, it was pretty interesting for me to exchange with natives. Oh, thrilling little story, I lost my fanny bag. It was a shocking moment once I realized. Oh, I lost my wallet. Inside it were 100,000 yen, cards like my credit card, and the most important item, my international passport. Without thinking too much, I left the store immediately and went into the direction where I came from to trace back my steps. Then I remembered the restroom where I took it off. Lucky me, it was still there. What a relief. I sure did pay Yokohama a visit, and now that I think about it, there were 2 children behind me in the metro station and one of them called me Gaijin. Then I turned around, looked at one of them, and then they realized, oh, I might understand what they are saying. I spent my 30th birthday in Japan. I booked an izakaya tour and it was fun exchanging with other foreigners. And doing the classy tourist attraction to get lost at least once in the giant Shinjuku station. I could keep on talking about all the places I visited and adventures I had, but I don't think you want to hear me talking for another 3 hours. Unless you do want to, in this case subscribe to my Japanese podcast. Nah, I'm just kidding. But not every moment was full of joy. I had a time where I was lonely, depressed. I went out for the sake of being out. I had no place to go or nothing to do. I had the fear of missing out. I was thinking like, yeah, there are a lot of cool attractions, but I don't want to do them alone. I don't always feel like that. I can very much do things alone. But there was this time where I just had this negative mindset. And concluded Tokyo with the following thoughts. Yeah, Tokyo. Being here for over a month, I got used to things. I said early on that the first time magic is gone. You can still say I'm rather depressed in Tokyo than Germany, but I see more cons and pros. Where are your friends and family? Are you coming along with the Japanese way? Can you speak Japanese? What are you going to do once the sightseeing is over? The next station is Sapporo. Pretty cold up here. I have to wear more than just a t-shirt. Speaking of my upper body only.
Being in Japan is like, hey, it's already noon, why is no one texting me? But then you remember the European are living in the past.
I dropped in the Sapporo Beer Museum. By the way, it's a really good beer. The German approves. The Nakajima Park is beautiful, and the view from the JR Tower left also a mark on me. After all this time in Japan, I've become a chopstick master. Oh, I completely forgot about that. It was in Sapporo where I sent out my first package to Germany. In 2 or 3 occasions they gave me a piece of paper, stating a lot of steps to do. You have to sign up somewhere, fill something out, print it, kinda get it on the package and whatnot. One tip here, ask the staff if you can have a tablet, because with a tablet it's super easy. You just type in the stuff and that's it. You can buy packages right at the post office. After strolling around for some days, I started fast to recognize places where I've been and thought of it as a small city. Wait a minute, Nakajima Park, Sapporo Factory, Beer Museum, JR Tower? So this is the area I've been strolling around. Historical village? More parks? Ah man, I've done a terrible job at exploring Sapporo. That's because after 1 month of so many new impressions, I wasn't in the freshest state of mind when it comes to exploring. I'm sorry, my fellow Sapporonis, I haven't done you justice. Hey look, it's Odori Park. Let's see what we got so far. Please stand behind the yellow line. Osaka e yokoso. It is pretty cool to be back in the warm, though I did not have the best time in Osaka. I felt like there's only number here. Disclaimer, this is not a review of Osaka, this is just my personal feeling during that time. While I am writing and recording this, I think it is because I was still trapped in this hedonistic treadmill, seeking for something life-fulfilling, instead of just enjoying myself. It's something you have to deal with when you travel alone. Back in May when we were in Osaka, we had an awesome time here. But when you travel with the right people, you just enjoy each other's company. The activity is secondary. Oishi baklava. In the metro stations you will find these markings. It shows where people are getting off the train and where they are queuing up for the next train. It is nice to see that there is at least one country where something like this still works. Hello. There was the Mino National Park I wanted to visit. It looked gorgeous on Google Maps, but it was closed on the day I discovered it and it was my last day in Osaka. There are not only a lot of foreigners but also Japanese people who rather move to Osaka than Tokyo. Because Tokyo is too crowded and the people are too hasty. Also the rent in Osaka is cheaper while the flats are bigger as well. So it's totally understandable. By the way, that is not Osaka, that's Ulaanbaatar in Mongolia. Psych! Ohayou gozaimasu, Kyoto. Yo, Kyoto. Listen how quiet it is. Turn down for what? In Kyoto, I ate lunch at an university and oh my god, that chicken nanban was one of the most delicious meals I had. In general, the food in Japan is on an unmatched level. It's high quality and I never had stomach problems. Though in my time in Kyoto I had a phase where I missed a fat German fast food burger or pizza. I visited twice the same onsen, which are hot springs. On the first time I felt off, but the onsen did wonders for me. I tried to get up on Hiizan mountain, but looks like I was too late, even though they were supposed to still be open. But I was also the only one there. I guess it wasn't worth it for them to stay open longer. Sumimasen. I can explain. That's also part of learning about Japanese culture. I was really annoyed by the buses in Kyoto. Kyoto doesn't have a big metro system like Tokyo or Osaka, so you end up using the bus a lot. My experience, they come too late, are overcrowded, and one time the bus didn't show up at all. Then I remembered my longboard exists and used that one. Because of the neat and slow vibe in Kyoto, I felt more engaged to look around at little stores. I could take my time and look at everything at my own pace. My second homestay in Kyoto was awesome. The host also does calisthenics and handstands, so we have something in common. She invited me to a calisthenics course and Korean barbecue party. It was so awesome to exchange with people from all over the globe. This improved my state of mind and feeling about Japan a lot. I realized maybe I was pretty lonely the last couple of weeks.
I'm not doing a good job keeping track of the things I can do, I should do, I want to do.
And spontaneously I booked a flight to Okinawa. I thought I only live once and I'm already in Japan and apparently rich. What if I will regret not doing it? Japan, Tag 58. Okinawa. It's just beautiful. Unfortunately, I only had 2.5 days on this paradise. The camera can never capture how beautiful this looks in real life or how it felt.
L for loser.
Yes, a sriracha vending machine. As much as I don't know why it's there, it can be just as practical when you are in desperate needs of sriracha. Human-friendly cats are strolling around.
Ohayou gozaimasu, Neko. Aw, it's sleeping.
So in Japan, people with a tattoo can even go on a trampoline. That's the route I explored on one of the days. Okinawa is just beautiful. I would love to visit it again. Back in Kyoto, I took my first Shinkansen ride this time in Japan. Another story time. When I was queuing up for the Shinkansen, the guy behind me asked if this is the queue for the bullet train, poulet train, like poulet train, it was, yeah. And I'm like, sorry, I don't understand. He said, fastest train in Japan. I'm like, yeah, you're correct, fastest train in Japan. And I was about to turn over into the front again, and then I realized, bullet train, you mean bullet train? He's like, yeah. Another funny story. With a Russian accent, он сказал. Polyglot style. Coming back to Tokyo felt pretty good. I had a different impression as the rather negative one I left it with. My last couple of days in Tokyo I visited a maid cafe, a cosplay convention, more donut stores, a comedy show, Japan! And the Tokyo Skytree. And that's not Tokyo in the background, that's Astana, Kazakhstan. Psych again! Japanese construction sites are making sure not being too loud. Since the experiment with the package was a success, I sent out 2 other ones. Another one to Germany, those arrived after around 8 days, and one to South Africa. This one took a little bit over a month. Oh, sending packages to South Africa. Our boys are international.
In a world where Asahi Superdry, Sapporo and Orient Draft Beer are living in peace.
Famchiki is overrated. Shitstorm in 3, 2, 1. When I stated my personal thoughts, I never wanted to bash any city. I'm sorry if I made that impression on you. I recommend you visit every city mentioned in this video and make your own experiences. There are things on my to-do list I didn't do. I didn't play pachinko. I did not do a longboard tour from Nerima to Shinjuku because it was always raining when I wanted to. I didn't taste Wagyu meat. I was not at the Ashikaga Flower Park. I didn't watch sumo wrestling. During that time there were none. The further I was into my journey, I was looking forward a little bit going back to Germany to do certain to do certain things in Germany again with my newly gained knowledge. I learned a lot about Japan. I'm still fascinated by the country and would love to explore the rural, ah, and would love to explore the rural parts of Japan, as well as other cities, small islands, pet a lot of cats, and try, for instance, misokatsu in Nagoya. Let's see what my life will bring, and maybe one day I will be making videos from Japan, working from there while continuing exploring. But this trip I had was already more than I could have ever asked for. Thank you very much for watching. Arigatou gozaimasu. Yes! Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, never again will I do a YouTube video.